Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. Well, we are creating some cards, 3 cards today with the Photoplay Papers Cat Nip 12x12 collection. If you are a fur baby kitty lover, this video is for you. Thanks so much for joining me. Our cards today are pretty simple. We're, for the most part, going to be using some cut-aparts, and we're also going to be bringing in some ephemera that coordinates with the catnip collection. One of my cards is a shaker, and so that's why I'm saying that they're not all easy, but minus the shaker element, I think 5-minute cards, 5-minute makes. Really easy cards today. So let's jump in and pick out some pattern papers. We're not using the sticker sheet, just the pattern papers and the ephemera today. I'm going to pick them up and I'll be right back. I picked out some pattern papers. We have 4 of them. I'm going to tell you the names of them because some of your favorite craft stores will sell these 12x12 sheets individually, okay? We have Cats Have Staff, and I have to agree, yes they do. I have some prissy kitties. I have 3. And then we have some neighbor kitties that like to come over to our house too, so I was super excited about this kit. We also have Chasing Strings. And then we have Chasing Strings, we're going to be using the reverse side. It has some tone-on-tone red hearts. So those are our 3 pattern papers. And then we're also going to be using the 12x12 You Are Perfect pattern paper. What we're going to do is trim out some cut-aparts and use the cut-aparts in our card today. We're going to cut apart this one here. I thought this was so cute. And for my greeting for this card, we're going to cut out You Are Perfect. Okay, we're going to be using this cute little cut apart. It says, I'd spend 9 lives with you. I just love this. And then we're also going to be using the Champion Mouser cut apart for our cards today. So 3 cards. I'm going to go ahead and trim down some pattern papers, and then I'm also going to pick out some of my coordinating ephemera, and we're going to jump into our first card. For my first card, I trimmed this cut apart. What I did, I kept the pieces to show you. I trimmed a little bit off the right side, okay? And then I trimmed a little bit off the top, and then I trimmed a little bit off the bottom. And you can actually save these pieces because they coordinate beautifully with your cardstock. In fact, we might use these on another card. So keep these pieces that you cut off. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to bring in a panel that I created with our orange pattern paper. This is a card front panel, so it's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and take this and tack it down to the front of my card base. I have a side folding card base, so my card base is going to open from the bottom. Okay, after we have this done, what we're going to do is, I did cut out, this was our other cut apart. Let me show you. Here, this is what it looked like, but I just cut out the greeting that says You Are Perfect. And the reverse side has a real pretty plaid. I'm going to take this strip here and trim it away. Okay. I'm going to add a thin bead of glue here. And we're going to adhere this strip to the left. We'll just tack this down. Next, I'm going to take some white twine. Twine and kitties go good together. I'm going to wrap it around the seam, and I'm going to tie a bow off to the left. This way we can add our greeting, which says You Are Perfect. What I'm going to do is take this edge here, I'm going to line it up against the edge of my card, and we're going to cover up this kitty here just so you can see the post that he's sitting on. This will fit the length of our card lovely without obstructing the rest of the kitties. Okay, for finishing touches for this card, I have some clear little hearts. I thought we would bring in some hearts to our background, and we're just going to add a few little hearts here. The glue behind the hearts is white right now, but when it dries, it will dry clear. And that will finish off my first card. Okay, we're going to jump in to our next card. For my next card, I have the ephemera here that says all you need is love and a cat. So cute. And then I also have the frame. We also have a cut apart that I'm going to trim down with my paper trimmer. I'm just trimming it down so it will fit behind the ephemera frame. Okay, so now it should fit perfectly behind here. I'm going to trim it a little bit more here up top. So we have the cute little kitties. Now I have a piece of acetate that's going to fit behind my frame here. We're going to use some tape runner and attach our acetate to this frame. The ephemera frames are so nice for shakers. It's just cut for you. It makes making shakers so easy. I have a little bit overhanging, so I'm going to trim that off with my scissors. Okay, I'm going to flip this over and we're going to put foam tape behind here. Now I have some sparkly bits we're going to add. I didn't want to take away from my kitties, so I'm going really neutral here. We'll add a little sparkles. And then I also have some seed beads. And then we'll also add some seed beads here, because it does add a little shake to your shakers. Okay, we're going to take our kitty piece. I'm going to flip it over and we're going to tack this behind our window. We'll tack this down and then we'll give it a good shake. You can hear it shake. But it doesn't take away from our cute little kitties. It just looks like they're playing with the balls. Now we're going to create our card. We're going to go ahead and take this pattern paper. I trimmed it down to an A2 panel, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. This is going to cover our card base. And then I also have a panel I created with the pattern paper. This is a 3 1/2 inch by 3 1/2 inch square. We're going to add this to the upper portion of our card. We'll just tack this down. Now I have a 1 inch strip of the paw print. We're going to adhere this down the center of our card. Actually, we're going to adhere this about 1 inch from the left. If you have some overhanging. If there's any overhanging, you'll just want to trim that off. And then I have a 1/2 inch strip that is behind our cut aparts. Okay, we're going to adhere this right down the middle here. I'm going to add adhesive behind my shaker, and we'll tack this right over in the center of that orange pattern paper. And then we're going to add our greeting right across the center. I am going to trim a little bit off the left and the right. We'll go ahead and tack that down, and I'm going to bring in some more of those little hearts. And since they're clear, I'm going to add a few to the outside of my shaker window. And lastly, I'm going to bring in a glue dot. I'm going to add it just above our shaker here. I want to add a bow using the same twine we used for our first card. Trim the tails of that bow, and that will finish off that card. Now we're going to jump into our final card today. For my next card, we have some pattern papers. We have this cut apart, and I did trim it down a little bit. And then we also have this ephemera piece. We're going to start by taking this piece of pattern paper. It measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. We're just going to adhere this to the front of our card base. Okay, we're going to cover the entire card front. And then I have a piece of our plaid paper. This measures 3.5 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. We're going to go ahead and adhere this right down the center of our card base. Okay, we have this piece of pattern paper with the hearts on it. This is 3.5 inches wide by 1.25 inches tall. We're going to adhere this across the bottom of our card base here. This down, and these two pieces were the leftover from my very first card. What we're going to do is just layer them. We're going to layer them all the way across the front of our card. I'm going to bring in some more twine, but since this is a side folding card, what I need to do is add a hole right along the fold line, and then I can thread my twine through here, and we'll just wrap it around and tie a bow. I'm going to trim a little bit off the top of our cut apart here. Okay, we're going to add foam tape behind here. We'll just remove the release paper, and we're going to tack this down. Wonderful. Looks kind of funny, but we're going to cover this with a greeting. Now I'm going to mat this greeting. This is "You Are Possum" on some white cardstock, just so it stands out. I just want a little bit of a white border here. And then I'm just going to use my scissors and trim the left and right. We're going to bring in some more foam tape, and we are going to add this to our card here. After we have this done, we're going to bring in some more of those hearts. We'll add a little bit of love to our card. Once more, you can see the glue behind those hearts, but when it dries, it'll dry clear, so you can't see it. And that will finish off that card. So today we used the Cat Nip 12 by 12 collection and the coordinating ephemera. We used the cut-aparts that are in there. Some fun, pretty quick and easy cards. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for joining us today. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.